I'm asking the Minister if you consider the introduction of a modest capital grant scheme for Mountain Rescue Ireland and various other subsidiary bodies of Rescue Ireland for the provision of equipment and replacement of jeeps and vans and things like that, such vehicles which are used to transport the very hard-working volunteers to the mountain base so that they can carry out their very important jobs.
Thank you. There are in total 12 mountain rescue teams in Ireland. These teams, staffed by volunteers, are called upon to operate in all weather conditions and provide a hugely important service. As we approach the end of 2013, I want to thank them and all of our volunteer rescue teams for the amazing work they do. My department through the Irish Coast Guard administers an annual grant scheme to Mountain Rescue Ireland, the umbrella organisation for mountain rescue teams on the island of Ireland. However, it's important to recognise that the Garda Síochána have responsibility for the coordination of mountain rescue teams under the framework for major emergency management. The Gardaí fall under the remit of the Department of Justice and Equality. In administering the grant that we do administer, my department meets Mountain Rescue Ireland and the relevant statutory bodies each year to review grant requests in accordance with the framework agreed some years ago. The grants paid to individual teams reflect the level of operations and expenditures of the teams, and it's a matter for the individual teams to decide how it's spent, as each team at the local level develops its own administrative and operational practices. In the year to date, some 186,000 has been paid in grant assistance to Mountain Rescue Ireland and its constituent teams. I'm pleased to say that it's been possible to retain the grant at this level over the past few years. I'll do so again in 2014. Mountain Rescue Ireland, as an all-island organisation, also avails of additional supports from Northern Ireland. But in relation to the Deputy's suggestion, I am open to considering the introduction of a capital grant scheme as he proposes, and I'm going to ask my officials to engage with Mountain Rescue Ireland around the issues involved.
Deputy Kyne.
Thank you, Minister, for your reply, and I certainly welcome it. I also would like to concur with your thanks for the amazing work that the volunteers do, the mountain rescue teams, and also recognise the current expenditure that is provided by your department and some, I think, 7,400 to Galway mountain rescue teams. I'd also acknowledge the growth and indeed the promotion by your department of the whole hiking and walking sector and the work that the volunteers do and the important role that they play. Current expenditure is obviously hugely important, but so is capital expenditure, and I welcome the statement that you are open to the introduction of a modest capital scheme, that you will ask your officials to engage with Mountain Rescue Ireland. Other departments, such as the Department of Health, have access to a lot of funding in terms of, for example, yesterday the Galway Centre of Independent Living received 50,000 for the provision of a replacement minibus. So I wonder, can you get your hands on any of that in terms of such a similar scheme?
Minister.
Yeah, as far as I understand it, they are eligible to apply to some of the existing grant schemes that are out there. It says here in 2007 there was a funding scheme to support national organisations in the community and voluntary sector. So there are one or two other schemes out there. There's also arrangement between them and the Department of the Environment, although I don't quite know the details of that, but there are some other things that they can apply for already. But I suppose what I have in mind on your suggestion is to allow a certain number of minor capital grants for my department, probably for equipment more so than anything else, which is money that can be spent quite quickly. And what I'm going to do is ask my officials to engage with them to see if we can do that for 2014.
Deputy Kyne.
Thank you, Minister. I just say there, I mean, you have your department, you have justice, and you have environment, all working in, I won't say joined up, but working in terms of the provision of possible sources of funding. So I'm not sure whether there should be more centralised funding system for them, that they can avail of the 50 to 60,000 for replacement of such vehicles.
Right, final reply, Minister.
Really nothing to add, but I'll certainly take the Deputy's comments on board.
Good morning.